conference and seminars, etc. He has invited as a resource person in 26 colleges at Tamil Nadu. He has lifetime member in Indian Academic Research Association also. Once again, I welcome you all for this wonderful session. Thank you. Thank you all.
Good morning. Sir, shall I start the session, sir?
Sure, sir.
So good morning, my dear students of PPG College of Arts and Science and other students from various institutions, distinguished professors, principal, and all the other participants. A warm welcome to you all. And I thank PPG College for a brief intro about myself. And so today we are going to see about the topic like improving mental health during this pandemic situations. Now, this, the content of this presentation for next 45 minutes to 1 hour will be giving you an insight about mental health and how to enhance your mental health. Because even yesterday, I met with a counseling saying that, I couldn't able to, overcome some kinds of negative, mental health. So they are struck with some mental kinds of, negative mental health, and they want to become a positive. Now, how to become positive? And many people have a doubt like, is there, there is a mind in our body. So today I'm going to explain you about so much of things that is being scientifically covered in the subject of psychology. So I hope this session will be having, a brief intro about all the things, and you can check about yourself, like where you are traveling and what is about your mental health and how you can bounce back from the negative mental health. So let's start with the presentation. I will share you my screen. And before going into the session, every students you can have, you can put your doubts in the chat box so that I can see, and this session will be purely interactive. So please do interact with me during the session, and if you have any doubts, you can then and there you can ask your doubts also. Okay. Sir, is my PowerPoint is visible, sir? Sir, is PowerPoint is visible to you?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so improving mental health during this COVID pandemic. Okay, now, before going into the chapter, let me give you a brief introduction about what is mental health. Now, I want you people to put it on the chat box about your mind, where your mind is located in your body. This is this first fundamental question that every people should know. Like about physical health, but what about mental health or the mind? Now, if I ask you where your mind is located, now what would be your answer? You put it on the chat box so that I can see your replies. Put it on the chat box where your mind is located in your body. Where your mind is located. Okay, so till now there is no response in the chat box. Let me check. It's in the brain. Okay, good. Okay, the first reply I got, brain again. Okay, what about others? Where your mind is located? Some people will say in stomach, some people will say in heart. Yes, of course. These are all the things that is revolving around the earth. So many people have many ideas where the mind is located actually. Brain again, okay. Let me go for another 2 responses and I will tell you the answer exactly. You can put it, whatever strikes in your mind, you can post it in the chat box. There is no right or wrong statements. Whatever comes in your mind, you can post it on the chat box. Okay, so there is no response yet. So only 4 people have said, 3 said that it is located in the brain, and 1 said it is located in the heart. Let me explain you about where actually it is located. Okay, now in centuries before, they believed that mind was located in stomach. Okay, it was located in stomach. Now, why they believe that it was located in the stomach? Because only if you eat well, you can be clarity in your thinking. So all your thinking will be good. So for 200 years, they believed that the mind was located in the stomach. So even nowadays we believe that if you want to persevere in someone's mind, you should give him some food. So if you give him some food, you can enter into his mind. Now that is what the English proverb also says like this. And after 200 years, the thoughts were changed and people started believing that mind is located in the heart. Okay, that is why, in adolescence age, if you're attracted towards some persons or maybe a song, or maybe a movie, whatever may be the thing, you get a heartache. Your heart will be a little bit hard, like missing missing a person, or feeling someone's love, care, affection, emotional, everything. You feel some kinds of hard in your heart, not in your brain. So people believe that heart is something that it pumps out the blood 24/7. When it stops, then the person is considered to be dead. So they believe that the mind is something which is located in the heart, but there is no specific point like it is located in this segment in the heart. So there's no specific segment, but they believe that heart is the main important organ that is regulating the mind. And after some centuries till now, they believe that mind is located in the brain. Now, how they can say that mind is located in the brain? Now, you would have heard so much of news supporting that a person whose brain dead is considered to be dead, even though the heart is keep on pumping. If the brain is considered to be dead, then the doctors will advise to donate the organs, because he's no more, like, he's not going to think, or he's not going to operate his mental activities, so he's considered to be dead. So that is why even now we believe that the integrative process of your brain, it is something we say it as mind. Mind is, to be very precise, mind is a software where the hardware is your body. But interestingly, 90% of the people in India, they are not aware of the mind. The 10%, balance 10%, those who are aware of the mind are very successful in their nature. That is what research says. Hard work is not important, only smart work is important. Now, how to enhance your smart work? If you want to become a smart people, or you want to be an extraordinary people, then you want to put some investment in your mind. You need to give a work for your mind. That is what we are going to see, how to enhance your mind in a positive way. I'm going to say you some symptoms. Okay, today I'm going to tell you some symptoms which is considered to be the negative symptom. And if you are experiencing one or two symptoms, which I'm going to say, if you are experiencing one or two symptoms, then you are very vulnerable to get mentally ill. Like, I heard people like this. Okay, if you are here, it is 100 members have been participated in this webinar. If I ask you 100 members, how many people have visited a normal, doctor, a normal physician, general physician, or you went to a hospital for some kinds of body pains or maybe body sickness? You say 100 people say yes, at least once in my lifetime I went to a hospital to visit a doctor. It may be any parts, any physiological problems. But say in contrastly, if I ask, how many people over here have visited a psychologist in your lifetime? Only one or two will raise your hands, because we have a stigma that if I go and to a psychologist or maybe a psychiatrist, the society will negatively label me that I am having some kinds of mental health problems. So it is not that much severity that if you have a mental health problems, if you are going to a doctor or maybe a psychologist or maybe any kinds of mental health professionals, you can be very well, recover from that mental sickness. Now, these are all the important symptoms after the pandemic situation from 2020 March. Many people in India are experiencing the severity symptoms of mental health, which they are not considering by themselves. And you can see many suicidal rates have been increased in the year of 2020 till now. So you should take care of the mental health in an important way. The first symptom of negative mental health is fear. Now, if you see a psychiatric patient, if you go to a hospital and if you observe a psychiatric patient, many psychiatric patients will have a common symptom of fear. Like in India, it is very higher compared to the Western countries. Like after this pandemic situation, many students, they are not able to adapt towards the new, the new education systems and all, because it is totally, transmitted to online education. I see many students, they are not able to, adapt towards the online education. Now they can, whatever may be the thing, whatever may be the lecture they can attend, but they will have an insight of fear, like I'm not actively listening to this lecture, or nothing concept is, it is not understanding to me. Now what will I do after the examination? And I can see many students who are writing the examination, semester examination, they used to call me, sir, give me at least 5 minutes extra, give me at least 10 minutes extra, so that I can post my papers on the link. So fear is something, a fundamental symptom that every every persons in this universe are facing right now after this pandemic. But before pandemic, this fear is about only 20% we are facing this fear. Now the first symptom is fear, and the second symptom we say it as anxiety. What is anxiety actually? About negative feelings about the future. Now when you sit, now I'm going to give you a task after this webinar. Like before going to the sleep today, just sit for 5 minutes or 10 minutes in a place where no one disturbs you. Now when you sit idle, focus on your mind, what it is thinking. Like whether it is thinking about the past, or whether it is thinking about the future, or whether you are able to be consciously perceive the present situation. Like whether you are able to perceive the present, past, or the future. If your mind is always thinking about the future, it means that you are anxious personality. What is anxious actually? Anxious is a negative symptom. It will deteriorate your mental health. Like if you see a person who has a severe level of anxiety, they cannot able to do the productive works or creative works, or they won't be able to think about tomorrow's activities, and the present will be totally spoiled. Now in psychology we say it as state anxiety and trait anxiety. It means some personality characteristics have anxiety from their birth. So from their birth, if they are about 18 years old, till 18 years old, every day they will be experiencing anxiety. Whatever may be the situations they are facing, every day they will be experiencing the anxiety. I have seen students, they used to, fold the kerchiefs in their hands, and they used to hold their pens. And I asked, why you are holding, pen with the kerchief? They said, sir, I couldn't be able to stop my sweating sensation, sir. And I see some students, they keep on crying, for silly things, they will keep on crying. And when I asked them, why you are crying, sir? I feel so anxious about tomorrow's results, especially for girls. Okay, so I feel so totally disappointed and totally fear about tomorrow's results. And tomorrow, my college, they made a seminar activities, sir, and they may randomly select any students for the seminar, and one among the student is myself, and I'm so anxious about if they call my name, what will I do? I'm so anxious about that. So anxiety is something you need to focus on that, and you need to work on that to overcome your anxiety, because anxiety is also the fundamental symptom of negative mental health. The next one we say it as numbness. Like if you sit on a place like 15 to 20 minutes, and sitting on a place does not make you to feel numbness, but sitting on a place and you think about one situation for so long time, you may experience numbness. Research says, like, see, whatever I'm saying in this webinar is not by the objective statements, and whatever I'm saying is I'm saying in the like scientifically I'm saying, not by subjective, I'm saying in the objective statements. Like research says, students, especially the category of 14 years above, they started involving in virtual reality games, like whatever may be the virtual reality games. They take the phone or maybe the tab or in the laptop, they use plenty of hours in involving in such kinds of games. And when they go to the relatives' home, I used to see my cousin brothers, they will be keep on sitting in front of the screen, and they'll be playing the virtual reality games for so long time. And after long time, they experience the numbness either in their hands or either in their legs. It means, just imagine, you cannot perceive your own senses of your body. If you're not able to perceive the own senses of your body, then you cannot perceive what is happening around you. So numbness is also something, we say it as a psychophysical symptom of having a negative mental health. So if you're experiencing numbness for, in a regular interval of time, then you should focus about your mental health, and you should bounce back from this numbness. I will tell you what you need to do to overcome this. And next symptom, we say it as insomnia. Insomnia means, we say in psychology, we say sleeplessness. Okay, so sleeplessness means insomnia. Now, I strongly believe the participants who are listening to this webinar, after last March, after the lockdown started, you may experience the insomnia. Like all together, the whole night you will be sleeplessness, and one particular day you are not able to sleep for the whole night, and you are still being active. Psychology says all the psychological problems, it can be depression, stress, it can be any kinds of sexual dysfunctions, it is about dementia, cognitive functions, whatever may be the psychological problem, the root cause of psychological problem is sleeplessness. It means the sleep is something which will make you to restore your body. The sleep is something, it will rejuvenate your body. It is something which you refresh your body after so long time. Like if you have a good night's sleep and you can see the changes right after that night, you will have a productive in your works, and whatever you do, you will have a satisfied feeling. Those who are having low self-inferior complex, the self-inferior complex is very low. Those who are having low self-esteem, those who are having low self-concept and self-worthfulness, it means that you are not having a sleep, effective sleep. And if you see a depression patients, I will show you some videos also in this presentation. I think so there is 4 or 5 videos in this presentation that will help you to understand the importance of mental health. If you see the depression patients in the hospitals or something, those who are having very severe depression, you can see the black marks, below their eyes. So it means they are not getting sufficient sleep. Or else, if you see a psychiatric patient who's taking the psychiatric pills for so long time, also you can see the body physiological changes. The first important thing is insomnia, sleeplessness. Like I got a call before, last year I got a call from my student at the early morning of 5:30. I got a call from by 5:30 at the early morning, and I was so shocked and surprised to see his call. Then I asked him, he wished me as good morning, sir, how are you? He wished me and everything. And I asked him, I'm so surprised to see you get up by 5:30. Are you preparing for competitive exams? And I inquired that student like this, and he said, no, sir, I'm just not going to sleep. I'm not getting sufficient sleep for last 1 week. That this is the moment I'm going to sleep. I saw you online. That is why I, called you to wish you. Now I was totally shocked with this, moment. Many students started, skipping their sleep. So insomnia, if you are affected with insomnia, be careful that it is a debilitating symptom to encounter with a negative mental health. And the next one is telogen effluvium. Like it is a scientific word which precisely says like this: hair fall due to the depression and stress. Like adolescents people above 17 years, okay, you won't come out of your room seeing your mirror. Okay, so mirror is something which is very important. Wherever you go, you will find a mirror to groom yourself. It is quite normal being an adolescent and maybe a middle, adulthood. Till middle adulthood, you will have a conscious about your hair. Okay, now when you are experiencing severe level of stress and anxiety, after getting up from the bed, you can see the bedspreads is being filled with your hairs. Okay, hair fall. It means you are affected with stress, depression, or any kinds of negative mental health. Okay, now that is what we say it as telogen effluvium. Okay, you can Google it, this word, and you can find it out. Your hair follicles becomes weakened. Okay, due to the higher level of stress you are experiencing. In each chronological age, there are that stipulated, stress level. If you are trespass the stress level, or if the stress level is going beyond the level, then your all the cells will start, deteriorating. It may be your height. The first hair cell it will affect is your hair cell. Okay, so hair cell it will start affected, and you will feel the baldness. It may be, irrespective of the gender. Even females, right? The women or females, girls are facing this hair fall. I used to see many, girls. They will be, totally worried of their hair fall. Now, if you are facing the hair fall, then you should monitor your stress level or maybe the depression level. And if it is beyond the limit, try to limit the depression and stress. I will explain you the therapies, how you can you can sit in your home, and how you can reduce the level of stress and depression. I will tell you after this segment. Okay, so telogen effluvium, and next one we say it as confusion. Like you can see the symptom only towards the psychiatric patient. Like in your lifetime, at least go once to a psychiatric mental health clinic. Okay, at least once, not as a patient, as an observer. I'm saying, just go to the psychiatric patient and observe all the psychiatric patients, and you can see this confusion a lot. Like I used to always say, confusion is something. It is indicating that you are not in a normal, mental health. Like if you're going to the hotel and you are thinking that you want to get a roast for the breakfast, and if a server comes to you and say that you are asking the server, can you bring one plate of roast, and he's saying, sorry sir, the roast is not available. What will you do? You will go for another dish. Okay, get me an idli or pongal, whatever may be the thing, I will eat. Now see, means will change, but goals will not change. You will transform. You will directly, human ability is, you will adapt towards the other thing. If you're not getting the part A, you will directly go to the part B without any confusions. Now, even for the primary need, some people will get annoyed. Some people will get confused. Now, when he goes to the hotel and he wants a roast for his breakfast, and the server denies that he does not have a roast, the roast is already over. This person gets confused. Confused means I don't know what else to eat because I have fixed my mind to have roast today. So what I can do is I can directly eat for lunch. Now see, this confusion is something you need to focus. Okay, if you are very confused for your primary needs, then it may go to the severe level of negative mental health. So confusion is also one among the basic symptom of negative mental health. The next one is anger. Like see, anger is an emotion. It is quite normal emotion that every human being is being, it is a primary emotion also. But where to displace the anger is very important. Like if you see, many personalities in the world, they are able to control their anger, because anger, even though it is a basic emotion, the person who is able to control his anger, then he will be a successful person in the universe. Whatever may be the the thing, if you see Sachin Tendulkar, if you see Dhoni, if you see whatever may be the huge personalities we respect about, Gandhiji, if you see these persons, they used to control their anger. It doesn't mean that they are not experiencing anger. The person who is able to control this anger is a very wise and sage person in this universe. So nowadays, see, after the pandemic situation, many students unconsciously they are displacing the anger. For example, if you're getting a call from your friend and your friend says, "How are you, my dear friend?" and you say, "Who are you? Why you are calling me often?" Now you get anger towards a small conversation. Okay, so anger is something which is very important. Even in many families, I heard about like this: the father and mother, and especially mother, who cared about her daughter, they used to come to the daughter, "Why you are so sad? Do you need any help from me? Okay, shall I cook something delicious to you?" They said, "Did I ask you something to eat?" Did I say that I am very hungry, and did I beg you to get the food? No, please leave me alone. Okay, I'll be all right. Now see, displacing the anger, you should be very cautious to displace your anger, because anger, it will spoil your mental health as well as it will spoil your physical health. The next one is depressive symptoms. If you see a depression patient, okay, lifetime you are experiencing depression in various situations, like especially now you are adolescence age. Adolescence age is the important fragile age to get depression in your life. It may be interpersonal relationship, it may be exam fear, it may be parental care, it may be whatever may be this thing, you are very fragile to get depression. Now, how to displace this depression? I have, when I go to offline classes, when I talk about depression, I used to, communicate with my students, how will you handle depression? What is the way you handle depression? For example, many people say, "Sir, I used to, hear some music, sir. I used to sit in a quiet place. I used to sleep a lot, sir. I used to eat a lot, sir. I used to communicate with my friends." These are all the methods that they handle to overcome the depression. But if you see a depression patients, it is very harmful. Okay, either it will be harmful for others or they will involve themselves in a sabotage behavior. So this is what we say it as depressive symptoms. Now, see, after this pandemic situation, job loss and loss of loved ones, loss of financial, and they are stuck with financial crisis, emotional imbalance. All those negative symptoms made a person to experience depression. Like depression means they are stuck with something. Even if you think about today, like 2021, if you think about this moment, many people will not be aware of what is happening around you, because you will be stuck in 2019 itself or 2020 itself. You'll be stuck with that moment. Okay, let me play you a video where the police officers, you can see the public is totally negatively reacting to the police officers. Now this is what the exact symptom of depression. The basic fundamental symptoms of depression is severe level of depression is suicidal thoughts. If you're feeling worthlessness, helplessness, suicidal thoughts, and if you feel low self-esteem, it means that you are experiencing, say, depressive symptoms. If you're having a behavior of self-hurting, like I see many students, they used to cut their hands, they used to cut their stomach, and they used to involve in suicidal activities, it means you are experiencing depressive symptom. You can see this video how this person is displacing his depression. Okay, now you can also find it out. Many students or many peer relationships, they will be also showing the same kind of behaviors. Just see this video. Okay, now if you see this video, if you see in this video, you can see a person cannot be able to cope up with this anger. Okay, so he's totally already depressed with some kinds of problem. So when he started interact with the police officers, he loses control and he loses temper tantrums. He's directly displacing his depression towards a barrier, and he hits his own head with this barrier. Suicidal thoughts is there. Now, this is what we say. You should be very aware of the depressive patients. And the next important symptom is lack of interest. Now, before this COVID pandemic situation, if I ask what is your interest, he will say, sir, I will watch movies, sir. That is my utmost interest, sir. Apart from academic activities, I used to watch movies, sir, for 3 hours. If I go to the theater or if I sit in front of the laptop, I used to completely watch that movie, sir. Whatever maybe the movie it is, I will watch completely. Or I used to hear the song, sir. Even though I have heard the song for 1,000 times, whenever I hear the song, I will be totally rejuvenated, sir. That is my interest. Especially for girls, if I ask, they will say, sir, I used to cook a lot, sir. I love cooking a lot. If I go to the kitchen, I totally forget about the hours. I will involve myself in the kitchen activities, cooking activities, and I will serve to my parents and siblings, and they used to give a positive reinforcement. So that is my interest, sir. And if I ask boys, they will say, sir, at least I will go to the gym, sir. Even though I'm not working out in the gym, even though I don't have motivated to build my body, if I go to the gym, totally I will get rejuvenated, sir. I'll be so happy and I'll be, involved in gym activities. But now, totally everything changed because gym is totally closed. Movie theater is totally closed, except your kitchen, everything is closed. Now see, you become loss of interest. Okay, loss of interest means now even though the theater is open, now even though the gym is open, many people started lacking their interest to do the specific activities which they love the most earlier. So I can see loss of interest in everything, like eating, they have loss of interest, sleeping, they have loss of interest, because students, they love to sleep. In classroom, I don't know how many people who are sleeping right now, but just generally saying, students, they love to sleep. They sit in the classroom. I used to see many students, they will be in a paradise and they will be sleeping. The beauty of the sleeping I can see in their face in the classroom. But even now, if I ask, did you sleep? Did you eat? No, sir. If I ask you, shall I buy you something? No, sir. I'm not interested to eat, sir. I'm not interested to sleep, sir. Because every pattern of myself is totally changed after this pandemic situation. Now, see, lack of interest is also something, and a poor sign of negative mental health. And the next one we say it as stress by the stressor corona. Okay, now when I go to the college, okay, I used to go to the many colleges, and when I interact with the students, I used to close all the doors, let be privacy, let be confidential, and many boys and many girls will be sitting on the class, and I used to say, what makes you to feel stress? Stress means you are getting some kinds of force, some kinds of hardness by some people or maybe some environment. If you see the LKG kid, when it enters the school, it will start crying. But if you see the same kid, it will start coming very happily outside the school because it feels the stress because of the stressor. Stressor means school. Stress means some hardness of feeling. Okay, Friday evening, he will be very happy. In school days, if you see, the kids will be very happy. But if you see the Monday morning, there will be plethora of symptoms, physiological symptoms. They will be saying, I have a stomach pain, I have a headache. Even some people will say, my brain is paining. Okay, so there will be so much of symptoms they will be displacing. Stressor and stress. So when I go to the college, I frankly ask, tell your honest answer, what makes you to feel stressed? The students will say, sir, this ma'am is the stressor for me, sir. Whenever I face her, I become more stressed, sir. Because she used to give so much of assignments, sir. And she used to give so much of seminar topics to cover, sir. Now see, you stress, that is what I'm going to mention you. Even though your ma'am is displacing some kinds of assignments, seminars, tests, everything, that is what we say it as use stress. Use stress means positive stress. Positive stress means, now see, Steve Jobs, okay, now he's no more, okay, the founder of Apple. He always used to encourage with his mentor how to develop a new project, how to reach all the people, how to innovatively, create something good in artificial intelligence. That is why now we are using Apple laptops and Apple phones, which is extraordinary and exemplary in other, marketing thing. Now, this use stress only will make you to have a positive well-being. Without use stress, you won't, see some heights in your life. Like if your teacher is, giving you some kinds of faculty members are giving some kinds of assignments, seminars, and all the academic activities, that may give some hardness to you. But after 2 or 3 years, you can see the fruitfulness of that stress. Now that is because of eustress. Okay, but distress means we say it as negative stress. After this pandemic situation, every people started experiencing the distress. Like when you meet a people, you get stressed. When a person talks to you, you avoid that person and you go to some other places. You are having aloof behavior, staying in your own room without talking or communicating with anyone. You missed sunshine, you missed sunset, everything you missed in your life. Okay, now that is because of the stressor called as corona. One day you'll be without hearing this word as COVID. One day, okay, one day you in your lifetime, maybe today or tomorrow, one day without this word COVID, you try to live, and you can see the differences how this corona has made an impact of your stress level. Okay, the next one we are going to say is irritability. This is what the last one. Okay, the last negative symptom, irritability. Like many people started irritated about themselves. We can see small kids, okay, they'll be totally irritated. Okay, you can see adolescents also. Sometimes you will be feeling like a touch me not plant. Okay, I see the boys and girls at 8:45 when college reopens. Okay, at 8:45 college starts. I see students who come to the class earlier, like 8 o'clock, 8:15 and all. They used to come to the class, and I used to see them. They'll be sitting in a quiet place, or they'll be standing somewhere in the staircase, and they'll be thinking about something. If some persons go and wish that particular person, they'll be totally irritated. Now I can see this person is mentally disturbed about something. It may be the family problems, it may be the personal problems, or maybe the financial problems he or she is facing. But it irritated means, it means that you are having a higher level of adjustmental problems. We say it as maladjustmental problems. Maladjustmental problems means you can say a person who is not able to adapt towards the new situation will have a poor mental health. For example, if you go to your college again, if everything comes back to your habitat, and if you're going to the college regularly, if you need to you need to adapt towards the new situation. Like till now, 1.5 years, you have started listening to the online lectures. You started, sleeping by sleeping, posture, or maybe the sitting posture, or maybe I used to see suddenly when I ask some students to, turn on your cam, they will be keep on brushing and they will be listening to my lecture as like they are listening a song on the radio. Now, when they go to the college, now totally adaptability problem will come. Like there should be a uniformity in the way you behave. There should be some uniformity in the way you react. Everything will come in a controlled environment. And if you're not able to cope up, or if you're not able to adapt towards the controlled environment, then you will be, facing some kinds of debilitating mental health issues. Now, I said about everything. What are all the important fundamental negative symptoms? Now, how to bounce back from this negative symptom? Now, I'm very sure that 90% or above 90% of the students, before said the symptoms will be at least 50%, it will suit you. Now, how to change your negative mental health? This is what I'm going to say in a scientific way. I have read so much of journals and so much of scientific articles. It says about lifestyle modification, how to change your mental health, sir. How to bounce back from negative mental health into a positive thing. The first one is stop viewing the news channels for some while. Okay, now recent research indicates when you are keep on viewing the news channels for so long time, we say you feel that you are updated. Okay, you feel that you are having so much of updated feeling. Like what you do, you go in front of the laptop, or you go and sit in front of the television. You just turn on any kinds of 24/7 news channels, and you will be keep on watching. Every 5 minutes there will be a breaking news. Okay, every 5 to 10 minutes there will be breaking news. And if you heard the sound of the breaking news, that induces you some kinds of depression. If you say I'm not going to focus on any particular channel, but whatever may be the Tamil channels, if you see, you can find it out. The tune of the breaking news itself will make you to feel some kinds of hyper. Okay, especially those days in 1990s. Okay, when I was a small kid, there was only one news channel. Okay, when I see that news channel, he will be very polite. If you see this picture also, he will be very polite, and the music will not trigger your depression, or it will not trigger your stress. It will mild. For example, when I was in childhood, I heard about Gujarat's earthquake. Okay, many people died. It was a devastating natural disaster that was happened in India. But the way he portrayed the earthquake was very simple. Every people did not get any panic. Okay, like he said yesterday in Gujarat 8.5, it was the Richter scale, it was 8.5, and many people have lost their life. This is what the common statement. Now see, those days many people had very good mental health just because they used to get updated after reading the newspaper on the next day. Okay, so if you want to get updated, try to get a newspaper, try to read all the articles on the next day. That is sufficient to get updated. Now we are not going to rule the world. Okay, so you keep on checking your updates, keep on seeing the news channels. It's not going to change the world. Now I'm going to play the video which was the news channel before 20 years and what we are experiencing right 20 years. Now you should carefully observe. Okay, even the small points you should observe. Okay, so the next news channel means the next video. When you carefully observe, you can see the topic of the debate show. You can see how they are having a quarrelsome behavior, especially before the night. Before going to the sleep, you should calm down your mental health, because all together from morning you will be having so much of stress, so much of pressures and depression. But in spite of all those things, you directly go and sit in front of the TV channel and used to see the debates, which is totally useless. Okay, so when you see those channels, when you see those debate shows and all, you will get totally frustrated, and that will replicate on your dreams like nightmares and night terrors. You won't be able to sleep. Your dreams will be totally out of your control. Now see this video. While seeing this video, try to focus on all the things except including music, including the title of the debate show, including how they communicate, how they make people aggressive. Okay, see this video, you can find it out the difference.
வணக்கம். தமிழகத்தில் உள்ள திராவிட முன்னேற்றக் கழக அரசை கவிழ்ப்பது என்ற பேச்சே எழவில்லை என்று பிரதமர் திரு சந்திரசேகர் புதுடில்லியில் தெரிவித்தார். அப்படிப்பட்ட அச்சம் யாருக்கும் இருக்குமே ஆனால் அதற்கு தான் பொறுப்பில்லை என்றும் செய்தியாளர்களிடம் பேசுகையில் அவர் கூறினார். மாநிலத்தின் கடலோர பகுதிகளில் எல்டிடியினரின் நடமாட்டம் பற்றி குறிப்பிட்ட திரு சந்திரசேகர் நிலைமையை சமாளிக்க வேண்டியது மாநில அரசின் பொறுப்பு என்று கூறினார். தென்னக மக்கள் மீது இந்தி மொழி திணிக்கப்பட மாட்டாது என்றும் அவர் உறுதியளித்தார். ஜாதி மத இன வேற்றுமையின்றி பல்வேறு சமுதாயங்களுக்கு இடையே அமைதியையும் நல்லிணக்கத்தையும் பராமரிப்பதுதான் நமது நாட்டின் அடித்தளமாக விளங்குகிறது என்று
வாய்ப்பு இந்த அரசியல் சாசனம் தானே கொடுக்குது. ஒரு தமிழன் பிரதமர் ஆனான்னா அவன் மராட்டியத்தையும் ஆள முடியும், ஆந்திராவையும் ஆள முடியும். நீங்க சொல்லுகிற மாதிரி ஒரு தேசம் 2000 வருஷத்துலயும் இல்ல, இன்றைக்கு நவீன ஜனநாயகத்துல இல்ல.
அரசியல் சாசனத்தை அங்க ஒட்டி போடு. அரசியல் சாசனத்தை நான் கேட்கறதுக்கு பேசு இல்ல. சாத்தியம் இருக்கா
திரு சீமான் இதே அரசியல் சாசனம் தான் இல்ல, அரசியல் சாசனத்தின்படி தமிழர் மராட்டியத்தின் முதலமைச்சர் ஆகலாம், தமிழர் முதலமைச்சர் ஆகலாம். அங்க அவங்க தேர்தல்ல வெற்றி பெறலன்னா
okay, fine. Now if you see this video, you can know the importance of the old news channel. Okay, the news was very important during the first phase of the video which I showed you, which is very important topic, but he's portrayed in a very polite way. But if you see the second video, I'm not targeting on any news channels. Okay, so I'm just saying whatever may be the news channel, if you see the content of the news channel, it is saying that Rajini Arasil Parvara Varamatara. Sorry, this is what the news channel, and it was breaking news on those time. But now when you look at the same content right now, when you compare the situation, Rajini was very well sleeping on those time when he won't watch this news and he will be very good in sleeping. Okay, now situations has totally changed, but that was one of the breaking news on those time. And when you use this sound and all, when you use when you hear about this sound, when you started here watching this video for so long time, at least 1 hour if you watch, you will get some kinds of mental chaos. Now this is what research says. Try not to see news channel and you can get updated by reading the newspaper. Okay, the second one is introspection method. One among the method is knowing about yourself. The important or maybe the difficult question that can be answered in an interview is, tell me about yourself. Okay, so this was the basic question that the interviewer will ask you. Okay, tell me about yourself. Okay, then the particular candidate will be totally confused because he doesn't know about himself. Or maybe they will be indirectly asking about, can you tell me about 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses of yourself? Then he will totally confuse, because If I ask you, can you tell me about your enemy? Then you will have 2 pages and more than additional sheets you will get, take to mention about all the characteristics of your enemy. If I ask about your friend, you will say so much of good things about your friend. But if I ask about yourself, you may not know about yourself. Now see, finding out your self-identity is something which is very important to know where you are placed in this universe, like your strengths, weakness, opportunity, threat. We say it as SWOT analysis. Okay, I will show you the video how we can apply the SWOT analysis. For example, SWOT analysis means in this pandemic situation, you can sit in your home and you can know about your own self. Where, what is my strength actually? What is my weakness actually? Like many people will say they will displace their weakness to their friends. They will displace their weakness to the, to the peer relationships. And what other people will do, they will get your weakness and influences you. For example, you may be very polite. Okay, polite is also a weakness for you. What other colleagues will do, they will go, inside your mind and they will say, can you do this work for me? Can you do my work can you do the work and complete on time? They will displace all their works to you. And what you need to do is you will get pressure and you won't say no and you will do all the works. But that is what we say weakness. Okay, so find it out your strength. Put a chart and a square, type which is being showed here. Write all your strengths, all your weakness. Okay, today after this webinar, write all your strengths, all your weakness, and you should compare your strengths with the opportunity. Okay, every people have a strengths and weakness. Like you should compare what is the actually strength. It may be a communication, or it may be a body linguistic, or it may be some kinds of artistic talents you will be having where other people will not have that. That would be a strength. Find out the opportunity. In this world, we have plethora of opportunity in front of you. Not only one thing. Okay, it is not only one thing that you need to achieve. There is no only one gateway. If one gateway is closed, you will be having thousands of gates to open. But you should find out what is your weakness and what is your strength, and you should apply towards the opportunity. If you fail to find out your strengths, and if you're not applying to the opportunity, then all together, all over your life, you'll be seeing the weakness and you'll always having a threatful behavior. That is what say weakness and threat. I will show you the video how to apply strengths and weakness with opportunity and threat. It is a simple method. You can see this video. Okay, that will help you.
So what is a SWOT? A SWOT analysis is an effective process that typically businesses and companies use to analyze themselves and their competitors and formulate their strategies. SWOT is nothing but an acronym for strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats. This important exercise can be very helpful for us individuals. Whether you're looking for a new job or trying to climb the corporate ladder or working on your life goals, a personal SWOT analysis can help you achieve your goals. It's a creative method of self-assessment to help you assess where your life or career is and where it could go. To conduct a personal SWOT analysis, ask yourself questions about each of the 4 areas being examined. Answer honestly. Honesty is crucial, or the analysis will not generate meaningful results. With that in mind, try to see yourself from the standpoint of a colleague or a bystander and view criticism with objectivity. Don't limit yourself to the strengths that you're currently exhibiting in your life or in your job. List all of your strengths, even the ones that have been dormant for a while. And pay particular attention to the things that you have that your peers don't. How are you different, unique, and special? The next step is weaknesses. This part examines the areas in which you need to improve and the things that will set you back in your life and your career. For the opportunities section, look at the external factors that you can take advantage of to pursue your goals and dreams, be it at work or be it in your life. Finally, look at any threats to your career or life growth. This part takes into account the external factors that could hurt your chances to attain your goals. Once you have filled out the matrix, there are two ways to analyze the information and build a strategy: matching or converting. Matching means connecting two of the categories to determine a course of action. For example, matching strengths to opportunities shows you where to be aggressive and take action. On the other hand, matching weaknesses to threats exposes those areas you should work on or situations to avoid, and lets you know where to be more defensive of your position. To convert is to turn negatives into positives. In other words, converting your weaknesses into strengths or threats into opportunities. This can mean growing a skill set through education, or maybe finding a creative way to.
Since my time is running out, I will skip this video, and I will share you the link to the the convener of this program, so that he will pass the link to you. And the next important thing is to enhance your positive mental health. Try to spend time with your family. Okay, now this is the right time to know about your family members. I see many students, they used to involve in reading autobiography books of some successful persons. Now, it does not match your personality actually, because your genes and chromosomes has been traveled from your ancestors, like your father and great grandfathers. Now, it is a blessing to have a grandfather and a grandmother at your home right now. Okay, so if you have a grandmother and a grandfather, it means you are very blessed to know, or you to track about your personality, because all the other exceptional cases, all the other exceptional personalities in the universe, they does not carry your chromosome and your gene, because chromosome and genes, it is something which is vital for problem solving and judgmental skills. Now, if you have a father and a mother, or maybe the grandfather and the grandmother, go talk with them. Okay, so like how you faced, at 18 years or 19 years, how you faced this problem? What are all the hurdles you have crossed over in your lifetime? If your grandfather, grandfather is there, talk with them. What are all the nostalgic moments you can remember in your golden days of your century? What are all the important memories you can hold it on, and why you want to relive again? What is the best thing that have ever happened to you? What was the best lesson that ever happened to you? Now, if you put this question towards your parents or maybe the family, they will give you very good recommendations how you can be cautious. Like they can be a guide in your life. In those days, when 20 or 30 years before, our culture was something which is a barrier to eliminate all the negative symptoms. In those days, suicide is very 1 or 2% it will happen. Like wherever, somewhere in our culture it will happen. But now you can see every day there are so much of suicidal cases just because of lack of family time. Because joint family converted into the nuclear family, and now we are living as nuclear family converted into intranuclear family, because a son will be residing in one room, a father will be residing in one room, mother will be residing in one room, and the daughter will be residing in one room. Even though all they come to the dining room, and even sitting on the dining room, they will be using the mobile gadgets, technological gadgets, and they will be connected towards some Facebook friends or virtual reality friends. So involving in your family time will boost your positive mental health. Next one is analyzing your dream with your career. Now, this is the right way, and you can opt this method of swap chart analysis to find out what career fits for your thing. And next one is checking your personality type. During this pandemic situation, you can know what kind of personality you are. See, I will share this presentation also to your convener, and I have posted the link in this presentation. When you click this link, it will directly take you to the psychological page where you can check your personality. For example, if I ask you a blood group, you will say confidently I'm B positive or A positive, something your blood group you will say. It will help you when you are facing a dangerous situations in your life. Same like that. Knowing about your personality is also something which is very important to grow in your life, to know about yourself. For example, we say there are two important clusters, introverts and extroverts. You see, introverts, they won't express their emotions, all the time. If you see extroverts, they can't be, silent. They will be very talkative person in the world, so they will keep on showing their emotions. And if you want to know about other body morph and personality, we say ectomorph, mesomorph and endomorph. It means your body texture, the body proportions will indicate the personality. For instance, I can say the girl or a boy, those who are very short and shout. It means those who are very short in their size and very shout. Okay, they are very easygoing personality. If the teacher yells at her, okay, those who are very short and shout, you idiot, nonsense, fool, don't you have any sense at all? Is the way you listening to the class? Okay, like if they yell at the student for 30 minutes, after 30 minutes, the student will say, okay, ma'am, it means they are very easygoing, relaxed type. The personality is built up with their body mark. If you take mesomorph, okay, if you go and quarrelsome with mesomorph, he will take a revenge against you. That is what we say, revengeful personality. And if you take the ectomorph personality, those who are very lean and very height, okay, it means they are very lean and they are very height. If you say they are very sensitive personalities. If you say that why you are coming late to the class, if you raise your voice, they will start crying. If you say you go and call your parents, they will try to commit suicide, putting your name that this is the person who made me to commit suicide. They will mention your name and they will commit suicide, because ectomorph is the personality where they are very fragile in their behavior. Okay, personality. Now see, imagine yourself. What is your body morph? Okay, whether you are short and stout, whether you are medium in body mass index, or whether you are height and very lean. So that also indicates or replicates your personality. And find it out. There are so much of personality inventories are given in this, link. You can check it out and try to do 10 minutes of mental health exercise, because we know that after COVID, we are very self-cautious about physiological health. If I go and meet a person, okay, he will see me as a stranger, and after interacting with that person, when I turn back, suddenly he will take a sanitizer and wipe his hands. Okay, he feels that I'm coming from some other planet and I'm spoiling his health. So because every person after this pandemic situations are totally cautious about their physiological health, not about mental health. Okay, we are not exercising. We are not doing any kinds of exercise that promotes our mental health. Like in physiological, walking and jogging, aerobics exercise, core muscle exercise, it all builds your muscles and it will, enhance your, physiological health. Same like that. Try to involve yourself at least 10 minutes a day in mental health exercise. What are all the mental exercise we have? Here we are available. We are, we need to experience. First one is yoga. Okay, yoga is something which is very important. Other than that, mindfulness, music therapy, relaxation therapy, all the therapies are the subdomains of yoga. Because in British or Western cultures, they took yoga as the main core, and they started developing in other skills, and they named as another therapy. But if you say yoga, and I used to ask to the students who invented yoga, who made the yoga, combined yoga into 8 pathfuls. People say that I don't know, sir. And if I ask about, can you tell me about who is Patanjali? Then he will say that students will say, yes, I know Patanjali, sir. Very good product, sir. Very good for your body and skin, sir. He will say like this. Now, this is what we lost our identity, because Patanjali is a sage person in India. Okay, he developed, yoga at 8 pathfuls like Yama, Niyama, Hasana, Dhyana, Dharma, Pranayama, Pratyahara, and Samadhi. These are all the 8 pathfuls of Ashtanga Yoga, which is a cure for all kinds of psychological problems, and it can enhance your behavior also. For example, if you take Gandhiji, he took Ahimsa from yoga, and he totally transformed. If you take Swami Vivekananda, he took Brahmacharya from yoga, and totally his life changed. If you take about the empire of Harishchandra, he took Satya in yoga, and he's totally his life was changed after applying the yoga in his life. So try to apply any kinds of at least breathing exercise, at least postures, at least asanas, maybe how to deal with others, how to be inner discipline. At least you try all those things. It will promote your mental health. And this is a mindfulness video. Since the time is running out, I will skip this video. And the last two things is compare your past for the present and for the better future. Like rather thinking what is going to happen tomorrow, try to think what has happened yesterday. For example, many nostalgic memories would have happened. Even now, I used to call to my school friends, okay, and I used to interact with the school friends, see how the school life was. Now I am facing so much of pressures and situations, but how our school life was. We went to the excursion. We were so happy those times, and that particular persons will also say so much of things which I've already forgotten. Now, when I interact with the school friends, when I interact with the old good friends, all the memories will make me to cherish how beautiful I have lived, how the worthfulness of my life. Now, rather thinking about the future that is not in your hands, you can think about your past. You can think what are all the golden memories, because no person in this universe has experienced 100% of negative emotions only. Okay, at least you would have experienced 20% of the emotions. So when you think about the 20% of emotions, you will get a resilience. Like you can, yes, I can face this future. I can, live. Okay, I can face this. All my problems in my life. So that will make you to have a pleasantfulness in your thinking. And the last, important one is try to monitor your intake. Okay, monitor your intake means after this pandemic situation, so there is no restrictions in eating. Okay, whenever you get some snacks, you used to eat. Whenever you get a food, you used to eat. Whenever you go to the shop, you have a binge eating behavior. Okay, after the food, you will take a snack. After the snacks, you will go for some other fast foods. After the fast foods, again you go to the millet. Something you used to keep on binge eating. But whatever you eat, try to monitor only on that particular food. That will have a good appetite, and that will make you to have a physiological and psychological well-being. And last one is, I'm saying, I have experienced so much of students, they come for addiction counseling. Either they will be called by their parents, or either they will be come by their own self to get out of this addiction, because 21 days of lockdown is very, sufficient to get involved yourself in addiction. If you're not focusing on what you're going to do tomorrow, then you are losing your own life. Okay, it's like if you want to form a habit, or if you want to break a habit, it needs 21 days of time. This lockdown period will make you to feel that 21 days what you are doing. Many people who started drinking habits, nicotine habits, smoking habits, involving some other kinds of drugs. And I can see many students, they started transforming their own body by doing exercise at their home. Now see, always you should overcome their addiction. This is the right time, because whomsoever I interact, they keep on say only this thing. I don't have time to do that side. I don't have time to the busy world. I don't have time at all to take care of myself. I don't have time at all to talk with my parents or to look at my personal works. This is the right time God has given you, how you can change your negative pace of life to the positive pace. Now this is the last time. Okay, now this would be the last the grace time which you are having. If you fail to utilize this time, then there is no other way to you can become ideal self will be ideal self forever, and real self will be totally distrustful. Okay, so I hope this would be given you some impacts about this positive mental health. And I thank you one and all to all the students, faculty members, and all the participants for your active listening. And now this platform is open for queries, and if you have any doubts for your clarifications, I'm here to clarify your doubts. Put it on the chat box. Thank you for your active listening again.
Thank you, sir. Students, any queries?
Anyway, students, I will forward the presentation to the convener, and the SAR will forward to you all, and you can use that link. Ma'am, I think we can wind up the session, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Good morning, all. It's my privilege and honor to propose vote of thanks on the 4th day of 5-day skill development program for students organized by Institutions Innovation Council and Career Guidance and Higher Education Cell of PPG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. On behalf of the team, I extend my sincere and hearty thanks to our esteemed guest, Mr. J.JERUS Albert BRITTO, sir, for accepting our invitation and make this day a memorable one. You made the session very interesting and thought-provoking, sir. Thank you so much. I express my deep sense of thanks to our beloved principal, Dr. N. Muthumani ma'am, for her entire support and guidance. Thank you, ma'am. I express my applause and gratitude to my fellow team members, Dr. S. Harikrishnan, Mr. K. Jayakumar, and Mr. S. Gokulanathan, for their strenuous effort to make this program a possible one. Thank you all. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to my colleagues and my dear students for their support and participation. Once again, thank you all for your cordial cooperation. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Dear students, we will meet you tomorrow with one more new guest and one more ideas. Thank you all.